Oh, and we had a backup in a downstairs bathroom. You know, in the basement where I put in the bar. Real nice. We put that nice bathroom down there, and now I gotta come over by here to Home Center and get some of this green board because we gotta pull out all the drywall and get everything replaced in there because the second floor, they were flushing wipes. I don't care what it says on the package, you can't flush wipes. Public service announcement right now. It's gonna back up, it's gonna snag in a root in the drain, it's gonna back up under the street to the city service, and it's gonna back up in a house, and it's just gonna be a geyser of misery down in your basement bathroom. So needless to say, I got kind of a, high bill here for all this drywall I gotta pick up. So we're gonna do one of these real quick. Ren is a website. You calculate your carbon footprint. You go on there, take a lifestyle quiz. You could see what your choices are, what they're doing for your carbon footprint and contribute into it. So you could work on that and take things down in your personal life, and then whatever else you can't do, you gotta commute to LaGrange to go to your job. You can't stop that. So what you could do with Ren is you could put a subscription every month, and then they plant the tree and they do different reforestation projects. So click the link, what have you, check them out, and help me get some dough to get some drywall because it's bad down in the bathroom down there. No.
Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Crime Pays, but by any doesn't. I'm near Springbok today. That's where we are in the Northern Cape, near the Beaglesvorp and the Springenbok Dugan climbing. And right here you could see, it appears to be caterpillar season out here. These guys are making a monopoly of, look at that guy. Look, just a big hairy little noodle on the ground. They're really taking advantage of all the mesems and the different composites and whatnot, but probably not any of the garbage. What's this guy doing? Look at, he's just going, what are you doing? You gonna eat that? That looks kind of good. Huh? You like Isoaceae? What are you going for? Look at this. So supposedly these guys are generalists. Look at his little jack-o'-lantern face. Supposedly these guys are generalists, but right here I just see him munching on the mesems, on the mesems, on Isoaceae, just taking them apart. Look at it. Look at the damn hair. But of course, when they're older, they morph into the mountain white spot moth. Look how many there are. Look at all this. Look at all these goddamn guys. The guy's remarkably fast for a caterpillar. Look at it. Okay, this is Delta Spinosa, one of two species in the genus Didelta. You got those big phyllaries right there. Biseriate phyllaries. It's called the Delta Spinosa because they got the spines on the end of those big bracts, and they get the alveolate receptacle. Nice. Look at this guy. Now, Astragalus has already filed a copyright violation notice on this guy. This is a member of the genus Lacertia of the Fabaceae. Faboideae subfamily here. Unfortunately, doesn't look like we got any flowers left, but we have been seeing this genus quite a bit. Got all the composites here. All the composites here are so stinky. Got a beetle in this guy. Those beetles just lurking here, huh? Just hanging out. Anyway, so this is Dimorphodecus Sinuata, and look at all those glands. You see those glands? That's a big hint that this is a member of the Calendula tribe Calendulae. All right, Osteospermum is another ubiquitous genus in South Africa that you see that's in that tribe, all right? And those glands are the reason that this plant stinks so pungently. I kind of like it, though. And there's our old friend, Laperosia. Iris family, Iridaceae, pollinated by the proboscid flies. Nice. Look at those blue anthers, purple anthers, excuse me. Little fucker. Beauty. And another beautiful vining milkweed, Microloma, is the genus here. Quite a few species in this genus in the Cape. Got 7 or 8 species in this genus. All of them, I believe, are pollinated by birds. All right, tenuifolium is like a blood red. This one, sagittatum, is pink. You can see that. Either way, they're bird-pollinated milkweed. The color on this thing, I bet it doesn't have any trouble getting pollinated. So readily noticeable. Like a little flag for the pollinators. Got fruits maturing, little follicles on there. You can always tell those bird or mammal pollinated flowers because they're bright red or bright pink. Okay, this is a banger. All right, banger genus right here. Banger family of monocots in the order Asparagales. This is the genus Cyanella. This is Cyanella hyacinthoides, and it's a member of the family Tecophyllaceae. Okay, hold on. This family Tecophyllaceae is especially cool, and the genus Cyanella is even cooler, all right? Tecophyllaceae you don't even get in the Northern Hemisphere, save for one species, Odontostomum hartwegii, which you get in Northern California, and who knows how the shit it got there. But moving on to the genus Cyanella, Cyanella is a great example of a phenomena we call Enantiostyly. Enantiostyly is just a way for a plant to ensure that its flowers don't self-pollinate, all right? They want to outcross because you get a better mix-up of genes, and you make a more resilient plant in the end, all right? So look at these styles on these plants I've been showing you. These are other Cyanella species. You get that style going to the left or to the right. On top of that, you often have dimorphic anthers, all right? Dimorphic anthers and poricidal anthers at that as well, meaning that they're buzz-pollinated, all right? Extremely weird phenomenon here, all right? You take a look at these flowers and you just want to wonder what the shit is going on, all right? Every flower is a puzzle. This is why we break out our handlets and we take a fucking closer look, all right, you jag? And a pretty common genus of tiny scrofe right here. This is Nemesia Versicolor. You can see they got this little spur in the back. Again with the glands. These little nephalioid composites. One of the 600 species in the genus Helichrysum leontanix. And speaking of camps, who do we got right there? Our old friend Eriocephalus, which produces the fuzzy fruits. Check out the filaries. Look at those ligules too. 3-lobed ligules. Looks like you only got about 3 of them per flower head, excuse me. And then there's those leaves. Highly reduced and of course covered in the scales and the trichomes. And the glands. Oh, kind of smells nice. Can't make it more than 5 feet without seeing something else totally fascinating. Here's this guy, member the Geraniaceae. And these guys do something pretty weird. You could see where they're getting their spines from. They're just modified petioles. You can see the leaf at the end of that. The leaf eventually drops off. And you're left with just a stem full of these 2 to 3 inch long spines. And then of course you got leaves. Just little fascicled leaves. Coming right out that photosynthetic stem right there. And there's that flower bud. Not yet open. Anyway, Monsonia spinosa is the name of this guy. Let's see if we can find a flower. Ah, yeah, there we go. Look at that. Interesting about this genus, formerly known as Sarcocaulon, is the flowers got 15 stamens. Look at this. See if we can get up in there. Look at it. See that you get that 5-lobed stigma? Swollen anthers. Not fully empty of their pollen yet. You can see the little bird beak fruits. Succulent leaves, succulent stems. And again, so many of the geraniums here, the Geraniaceae, do this. Where they turn their petioles into spines. Kind of gives us an inside look at how one of the ways in which spines can evolve in plants. Herbivory defense. See, the leaves are at the end, so they're just basically petioles. They're just petioles that turn into spines. The leaves fall off, and then you're left with this sharp bastard that once the tissue dies, turns into a hardened, woody, very, very stiff and sharp little spine. Look at the wax. Look at the wax. Sepals are still encasing that ovary. Here's a good-looking boulder and nice. Again, everything here has been cooked. All the rocks here have been cooked. All right? Intense metamorphic activity. It's wild. The whole region. It's just very old rocks that have had ample time to get subjected to heat and pressure. Look at the striations in that. Huh? See that kind of looks like shearing? Yeah, look at that foliation. Look at it. See that? See the striations in there? So I believe what cooked this rock, this 1.5 billion year old rock, was upwellings of magma from below. Alright, here's another common genus here. This is the genus Ropera. Look at that fruit on it. Member of the creosote family, Zygophiliaceae. No flowers, unfortunately, but succulent leaves. What the shit is this? Looks like, look at those filaries. Looks like a member of the Arctoctidae tribe, the Arctic titties tribe. Maybe a Gortaria, maybe a Erpicium. Little shrub, who knows? Let's walk towards the Allodichotomum. Seems like a good bet. You like tree aloes? Relatively sparse right now. I don't know if some of them died from the drought of 2017 or what. But this one hasn't been gnawed on by livestock. I like that. So Allodendron dichotomum is the genus and species here. Known colloquially as the quiver tree because the indigenous people here used to use the hollowed out branches of this plant to hold their arrows. All right, look at that bark right there. Interesting about this plant is that it can self-abscise its own branches in times of drought. Yeah, some of these bastards can be massive. You could see them where they're, you know, they got to be at least 500 years old, maybe older. You know, 10 times the diameter of this guy. You can just see those margins of those juicy succulent leaves. The small teeth. Wonder how old this guy is. And of course, being succulents, they don't really have to worry about rain too much to be able to flower. They got all that. They got all that moisture and carbs. All that moisture and carbs just stored in those trunks and those leaves. Look at this. Looks like an Ornithogalum about to go off. Look at that. Not yet going off, but will be soon. Oh yeah, here we go. 60 species in this genus. Zaluzianskia villosa is this one. Who's Zaluziansky? He's the Polish-American guy. I got caught stealing a lawnmower out of my mom's garage. Look at the glands. Look at the glands on the calyces and on the stem right here. Long floral tube pollinated by proboscid flies and moths. Oh, who do we got growing down here? Who do we got growing in the shade? It's a Pelargonium. Geranium family, Geraniaceae. You know, I was not enthralled with this family till I got here. But look at this. Look at this showy bastard. Look at those posterior petals. Those juicy yellow anthers. God damn it. Pelargonium incrustatum. These things got a massive tuber in the ground too. Big roots. Look at that. Look at this. Oh my God. Look at that thing. Those sepals peeled back. Those pink petals. Look at the fuzz on the stems, on the calyces. God damn. Pelargonium is an incredible genus. I have newfound respect for it. So diverse. Got so many adaptations to thrive in this dry environment. Look, we got another oxalis. Little oxalis. Look at those. Look at this. Look at the style in there. Those hairy stigma lobes. You got a beautiful perianth, my friend. And there's those leaves down there. Look at that 6. No, it's just a tree. Never mind. Let me get these for you. Yeah, triphid leaves. Triphid leaves. Just coming up from in between the metamorphosed granite. They're nice. Yeah, see how the rock looks like it's been stretched? Like it's been kind of pulled apart. Or compressed apart, rather. Compressed laterally. Indication of metamorphic activity. You get some foliation right there. Oh, this is nice. We got a member of the milkweed family, one of the succulent milkweeds, one of the stapeliads. Quaqua mammillaris. Look at those projections. Those little sharp, pointy projections are just tubercles. Called mammillaris because apparently someone thought it looked like nipples. Those are just little hard nipples. Tubercle bastard. When the flowers are going off there, look like these little mahogany starfish, just sessile on these succulent stems. Look at the mottling too. Maybe to attract pollinators, maybe for camouflage, who knows? What are you doing, you weird bastard? Look at you. What? Oh, you got a fruit on there. Look at it. See the little red, those 2 little red follicles looking like bullhorns coming off the stem? Yeah, I'm going to say that mottling is just for camouflage. Look at that. Nice color palette. Mint green and a puke red. Hate to see that. Signs of a tortoise who didn't make it. You know, some of us won't, my friend. That's okay. You know, some of us, it's rough out there. Oh, look at this. Hebbenstredia. Another bizarre scrofe. Hebbenstredia parviflora. Look at those leaves. Linear leaves. Look at it. What the shit pollinates this? It's so green. I can't get over how green it is. Coming from California, where everything's brown and covered in smog, pollution, particulate exhaust, and a wildfire smoke. Anyway, here we go. Here's a member of the genus Cercia, one of the sumacs, Anacampseros. Kind of looks like a little poison oak bush, doesn't it? I checked though, no urushiol. Ooh, look at that nice white velvety indumentum on the underside of that leaf, on the abaxial surface of that leaf. There's those fruits, woolly fruits. Cercia incisa. So many species of Cercia in the Cape. Oh yeah, there we go. Ubiquitous shrub of the Karoo region. Both the Klein Karoo and Namaqualand. Pteronia incana. A shrub adapted to the hot and the dry. Look at the fuzzy blue leaves on it. And then look, zoom in right there. Let's look at that. Those big-ass yellow corollas. Big-ass five-lobed yellow corollas grouped together in those involucres. Yeah, there we go. Money shot of those involucres right there. Multi-serried involucres. And the leaves on it. Like little blue Q-tips. Ah, what do we got here? Look at this weirdo. Colchicum circinatum. Look at the mottling on that leaf. Is that some sort of mimicry or camouflage? Or is that an attractant for the rodents that pollinate this geoflora species? Look, you got a beetle crawling out of there. Look, flower's already done, but he's just hanging out in there. Just like a crackhead you find sleeping in your vehicle. Just using it as a hotel for tonight. Yeah, almost all the colchicums got those big bracts. See, those look like a little cup holding the flower in there. Just flowering right out the ground. This guy's already done. You know, we're about 2 weeks late. Would have loved to see the flower when it's going off, though. Another succulent member of the Asteraceae right here. Succulent Senesioid bastards. From the Senesio tribe. See, there's the pappus right there. Oh, pappus, and then there's the akene. Woolly akenes, like a little cat and swab. Yeah, this looks like a member of the genus Athona, which is a succulent senesio. You know, a lot of them end up looking like little weird bonsais growing in these dry, rocky environments. A lot of those succulent nuts like these guys too, those succulent nerds. Look at it. Look, so you get the succulent stems as well. Really cool genus right here. Fucking weirdo. Here's that geranium again, that Pelargonium incrustatum. Oh, look at that beautiful cyme. Interesting thing about all these pelargoniums. Let's zoom up close. Get a nice shot of those magenta petals. You can see these are protandrous. Stamens have withered on these flowers, so they're male first, and then the stamens wither, and you can see that five-lobed stigma right there. And there's the withered filaments from the stamens down below. Those stigmas just waiting to get doused with pollen. Here we go. Ornithogalum Xanthoclorum. This guy's common in horticulture. Poisonous bulbs though, so don't eat it. Got the bracts subtending those flowers, those long-ass bracts. Asparagales is the order here. There's the Basil Leaves. Looking like a little waxy rad. Oh, look, I touch it and all the said wax comes off. Ooh, farina. Little champagne bottle of an ovary. You can see they're quite abundant here too. Oh, looks like we got an Anacampseros. Look at that, so nondescript. See those? Kind of looks like some dried shit. No offense, I think you still look great. I'm just saying. Look at it. Little spiny tubercles. Again, evolutionarily closely related to the cactus family. Look at it. Look at all the trichomes. Oh, he's got a little flower bud coming out. These guys are so tiny. The succulent collectors love these, and you could see why. But the thing to do, of course, is again flood the market. Don't flood the market to to combat the poaching. I can't, look at it. You got to give it to them. They know how to hide. They know how to hide. All those trichomes, of course, reducing heat. Of course, reducing moisture loss. But also making them blend in with that metamorphosed quartz in the background. The metamorphosed granite in the background. How many you got there? There's one. There's one. There's another one. You got to watch where you step. Look, they just blend in right with the rocks. There's one right there. There's two rocks. There's a massive clump of one. How old do you think that guy is? 10, 20 years maybe? There's one right there. There's another one. There's one. You got like 40 plants. You know, another thing to take into account too is that I bet during a hard rain, this bedrock, of course, is probably impermeable. So the water probably pools up. I wonder if you get little, ephemeral pools here somehow. And how does that guy not rot during it? Got down to 40 degrees last night, so he's obviously somewhat cold tolerant. Yeah, it got surprisingly chilly last night. Frigid. I ate KFC. Ugh. Wanted to puke in my mouth. I never eat that shit, but our options were limited at 9 o'clock at night in this small town. Surprised I got a KFC. They got these fucking fast food chains everywhere. They're all over the world. I bet when I get to hell, I bet there's gonna be a fucking KFC and a Wendy's, or if it's really bad, an Arby's maybe. Yeah, this is my newfound favorite succulent genus, I think, Anacampseros. There's so many of them. These cryptic little shits. They're so weird. Some are covered in hairs in the trichomes. Some are just kind of a dark color, hiding in the shade of a larger shrub. Some have scales, looking all papery and what the shit. So many different kinds of species in this genus with such a varied morphology. Got a couple nice crassulas. Crassulacean acid metabolism. Look at it. Look at this. Look at the texture on those leaves, on those succulent leaves. Almost like they got little trichomes on there. Let's take a look at those flowers. Look, you got the trichomes on these sepals too, on those tiny flowers. What pollinates these tiny flies? Vegan Vladstock. Krugenpuffen. Hugenpuffen. Sorry. I shouldn't be. I'm an asshole. I'm just joking around. You can't take a joke. Come on. You can make fun of the way Americans talk really easily. Nyah. 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 Oh. Look, again with the quartz. Again with the quartz. Ooh, nice little mesem. It's unfortunate that so many of these plants, before I had any context for them, I saw them just bastardized in a horticulture, completely out of context in the United States. That's a tragedy. Okay, that's the thing. That's what I always talk about. Plants are not autonomous entities. Okay, they're members of ecosystems and evolutionary lineages, and to see them just overused, they're completely out of context. Overused in horticulture are completely out of context. The context in which they occur, outside of the landscape on which they've evolved for countless millennia, really, I guess I can understand why some people don't give a shit about plants. You have no context for them. You don't know what's going on. Oh, look at it. There's a nice iris. Probably a Laperosia. Curly whirly leaves. Look at those guys. Again, context is everything. That's how you start to care about this shit. But how are you going to get context when there's no habitat left, When everything's a fucking strip mall or a parking lot or a suburb or at best a power line easement. Used to like hanging out along those when I was a kid. Power line easements and train tracks. Closest thing you can get to a natural habitat in a lot of the United States. And probably in many other parts of the world. As we continue to just gobble up whatever habitat is left. to make room for all the stupid shit we tend to build. All right, I'm sorry. I'm getting a little too negative. Look, why don't you just enjoy the beautiful flowers, all right, prick? Look, some scorpion lost his tail. You know, some of the scorpions here are not too bad, but some are downright deadly. They will straight up kill you. My God, look at all those Anacampseros right there. That's all Anacampseros. Those little mounds, looking like little rocks. They just look like pebbles. The pebble plant. And here's one of them. Here's another one going off. Oh, it looks like he's got a little flower in there. How about that? That's an old boy. That's probably a 20-year-old plant right there. I can't get over this genus. What a marvelous genus, huh? Do you like the gneiss? You grow all over the gneiss. Just wherever the little gravels accumulate. But you know, you could store all that water, you're fine. Store all that water in your leaves. You know, prevent it from transpiring through your stomata. Look, you see how their flower buds are all pointing towards the sun? Oh, this is nice. And over here we got one of the African milkweeds. The true milkweeds. I don't mean the succulent stapeliad bastards. We got a species in the genus Xanthoclorum. Looking just basically like perfect little milkweed flowers. Sepals reflexed, 5 hoods. Do they got a horn? They got horns in there? Nah, not really. Just the ends of those hoods kind of terminate in horns. And there's a gynostegium, that white column in the center, surrounded by the 5 hoods. The venation on those leaves almost looks like a sumac. Coming up in a little crack in the nice. In the nice. Looking just like a milkweed, like a North American milkweed, like an Asclepias, you got those follicle fruits. Except these are extra spiny. Oh, look at that latex that's coming off on my hands that I should probably wipe off before I touch my face. There's a developing follicle. And I bet they got the coma on them too, that papery fluff. That acts like a little sail to help the seeds get around. Look, a Xanthoclorum coming up within a euphorbia, another latex-bearing plant. With those notorious 3-lobed carpels, those 3-lobed ovules right there. Or excuse me, ovaries. Ovules would be the individual seeds. What the shit am I talking about? Still got the style on top of that that fruit right there. 3 styles, ooh. Didn't even see the gladiolus. Again, 3 stamens. We're talking irises here. 3 stamens up on the top. And then at the 3-lobed style too. See the 3 purple anthers to those 3 stamens and the 3-lobed style. To dust the pollinator's head when it land on that landing pad petal right there. Last Anacampseros before we move off of this exposure, this rocky exposure of gneiss. You can see out there, you're not going to find any Anacampseros out there because they got outcompeted by all the plants that are growing in this thicker soil. They need the lack of topsoil, or at least the relative lack of topsoil. They need that thin topsoil. The rock is right below there. You got about an inch of topsoil where these guys are growing.